Hello everyone, welcome to Euron, and in this video I'm going to discuss about a roadmap for a data science. Now many people were asking me a question that can you please try to discuss about estimated roadmap or maybe a timeline or maybe a number of weeks, number of hours which I have to put up to prepare for a data science if I'm a fresher. So considering that in a mind, so we have created a roadmap. So again, this is a minimalistic roadmap. There is no limit for a maximum. Again, so once you will be a part of industry, obviously you learn a lot, you try to explore a lot, you try to build a lot, and then your another level of learning starts from there, right? So when you will be a part of industry, but before that, so obviously you have to do a preparation. So for that particular preparation, I'm going to discuss about a roadmap with all of you. So let me share my screen, guys. So I believe my screen is visible. Roadmap for a data science. This is a topic name which I'm going to discuss, and like I said, it is going to be a minimalistic one. Believe me, it is going to be a minimalistic one. I'm going to talk about weeks, number of hours. Again, this is just a estimated one. Thumb rule is not applicable, or this particular rule is not applicable on each and every one of us. Again, some of us are a very fast learner, some of us are a very slow learner, or maybe a mid-level of learner. So again, that's completely fine, but again, this is the estimation one, and that's a minimalistic one. Now, so very first part that you have to prepare is a foundation. Now when I talk about a foundation, so anyone who would like to get into a data industry, I always suggest them that try to work on programming language, because as a developer, this is something that you are going to do. So you are going to work on building a new application, new feature, or maybe a new solution or anything, but at the end of the day, you have to write the code. Very simple, right? Or maybe you have to modify a code which has already been done by someone else from your team. So here, the very first part is as a foundation building part, which is going to take 1 to 4 weeks of time, because like I said, it depends on me, that how fast or how slow learner I am, or how many hours I'm going to invest in this one. So here, as you can see, goal of this foundation should be where you are going to spend 1 to 4 weeks of time. So build a solid understanding of programming, first part, mathematics, second part, and basic data skill. Now when I say programming, so I always recommend everyone, so those who are trying to get into a data industry, that go ahead with Python. Python is just like a literature, just like learning English language, right? So again, Python is a programming language by which you will be able to communicate with your computers. That's it, right? You will be able to write an application the way business needs. So here, first of all, you have to build a solid foundation with programming. Then mathematics. Now when I say mathematics, I'm not talking about a PhD level of mathematics or master level of mathematics. I'm talking about a simple basic mathematics that we all have studied somewhere, maybe in 9th or 10th standard, right? So that level of mathematics, but this time in a practical way. For example, algebra, we all have solved a couple of equations in our 9th or 10th standard. Calculus, or maybe a probability, maybe a little bit of statistics, and we all have gone through these things, guys. It's not like it's just me who is into a data science field have gone through those algebra or calculus or maybe a probability or statistics, but we all have gone through it. And again, a same level of algebra, calculus, statistics, or probability is required to understand machine learning algorithm, to understand a data, to understand a deep learning, computer vision, all of those architecture. And the bottom line is to understand the architecture of the algorithm, to understand the entire computation of the algorithm. So mathematics wise, a same level of mathematics, but means kind of a revision, I would say. So revision of the same kind of a mathematics that we all have gone through in our 9th and 10th, but this time little bit with a practicality, that how I will be able to use a calculus or algebra or probability or statistics, this time with respect to a data, this time with respect to solving a problems, right? Okay, now basic data skills. So now when I talk about a basic data skills, I simply mean that understanding a little bit of business, because we all keep on saying that we all are populating a lot of data, and obviously we do. in on any application. Just go on any application that you are using in your mobile, whether it's a Google Map or maybe a Swiggy Zomato app, maybe a Ola Uber or any other banking financial application. Everywhere you are generating some data with each and every activities, with each and every click. Now everyone is trying to generate a data company wise based on their business requirement, based on the business flow. So this time you have to understand a data. It's not like just take a dump of the data and start understanding it. No, not at all. That is not going to be a fruitful one. So you have to understand data, and you should know that how I will be able to get my required feature, because sometime data or the feature which is required will be available to you directly, and most of the time you have to derive it, right? So unless and until you are not going to understand a data in alignment with respect to a business, obviously it is not going to help you out. So basic data skills, but with a business alignment. Now so this section, so the way I said, like, it is going to take 1 to 4 weeks of time. So on an average 30 hours of time you can try to spend just to build a foundation. Again, some of you may take 50 hours of time or 60 hours of time, double than this. That's completely okay. Like I said, thumb rule, there is no thumb rule, and it's not applicable on everyone, but again, this is the minimalistic one. Now, so topic, what and all topic that you should explore anywhere. So maybe you are trying to go through a live classes, or maybe a recorded one, maybe you are trying to do a self exploration over the internet by using a GPTs or something. It's completely fine. So first of all, you should understand what is data science, what and all things which comes under data science. For example, so to become a data scientist, obviously you should know Python. Obviously you should know statistics. Then for a machine learning engineer, couple of machine learning algorithm, it's real-time application, then deep learning, then computer vision, then NLP, advanced NLP, and nowadays obviously generative AI you are supposed to understand. Now there are other components also which comes into a picture, but overall, holistically, you all are supposed to understand that what I'm supposed to prepare. Let's suppose I'm preparing for a machine learning engineer. Then obviously I should know that what and all minimalistic number of algorithm and application which I'm supposed to build. Let's suppose I'm planning for a computer vision engineer. So obviously I should understand that what and all algorithm I should go through, like a LeNet, LXNet, VGG, RxNet, so ResNet, again, there are many variety of that. So each and everything you are supposed to understand, and you should know that in a very first place. It's not like you are just going blind with everything and anything. So no, you are supposed to create a list in a very first place. And then what and all career options are available. Like I said, so as a data scientist, you can join some company as a machine learning engineer, maybe as a statistician, maybe as a machine learning manager, maybe as a lead, maybe as a deep learning engineer, maybe as a computer vision engineer, maybe as a NLP engineer, maybe as a Gen AI engineer, right? So there are lot of different kind of roles and responsibilities you will be able to see inside an industry on a tech side and on a functional side. Again, so there will be a role on tech side as well as on a functional side. So functional means a business side, right? And tech means a building side, where to try to build actual application, right? Based on the input from a business. So this you are supposed to understand in a very first place. And then obviously Python basic. So variable, data type, like inside a Python, there are different kind of a variable. Integer is there, a string is there, float is there, Boolean number is there, complex is there. So a lot of different kind of variables are there. You should understand, you should play with it. And then basic functionality, a data type like a linked list, tuples, all those things you should understand. Conditional statement, if else kind of a statement you should understand, loops and functions. So all these things you are supposed to understand. And then dedicated data science based library like a NumPy and Pandas you are supposed to understand. Again, I'm not saying that you should go in depth. It's not required. It's fine. It's your day zero, right? It's your day zero. You are just trying to build a foundation. You are just trying to create a mind map. That's it, right? So when you are trying to create a mind map, just go approach in that way, and then you will be able to find out that things are literally easy, right? Now, activities. So obviously these are the activities that you are supposed to perform. A beginner level Python exercise. So a lot of problem solving over there, but a basic one. Then take a data, work with a NumPy and Pandas library, right? So watch a video on data science life cycle. So like what is data science, and then what and all components are available into a data science, how I will be able to use a data science into my day-to-day work in a particular business domain, all those things. So means exploration at the end of the day. This is what I mean, exploration. So more you will know, So more you fast, like more you will know, more you will be able to explore, more you will be able to search and research, so more you will be able to learn. And then obviously a basic data handling in a Jupyter notebook. So again, if you are just a fresher in data science, again I'm saying fresher in data science, then with Jupyter notebook. Otherwise I would have suggested you that go ahead with the full scale ID like a VS Code or maybe a PyCharm, something like that. Now next part. So this is for a week 1. Fine. Now on a week 2, what you are supposed to do. So like I said, algebra, calculus, probability statistics. So these are something that you are supposed to explore. Linear algebra, vector and matrices. So I believe we all have studied this vector and matrices in our childhood. Same thing, like I said, right? So you're not supposed to like explore something different, but this time at least with respect to a data, with respect to a reality, because here you are not supposed to go and give an exam, yearly exam. Here you are supposed to crack a job and you have to implement your knowledge with a real-time application. So always behave in that way, work in that way. Fine. I have already attached a number of hours that you are going to spend. Then data wrangling and data visualization. So obviously little bit of advanced pandas. Again, in pandas there are 10,000 different kind of functions are available or APIs are available. Now I'm not saying that you should remember everything. No, not at all. But yes, a cleaning, merging, grouping, all those things you can try to practice. Simple. Then there is a data visualization libraries, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, Cufflinks, all those libraries are there. So little bit of exploration with respect to a visualization, so that even if I have a millions and millions of column, millions and millions of data, I will be able to understand that how it looks like in terms of a distribution wise, what kind of a shape it is going to give it to me, what kind of understanding it is going to give it to me visually. And this is where this library comes into a picture. Now data cleaning, so handling missing values, outliers, because this will be your regular job, this will be your day-to-day job when you are going to join a company, when you are going to join a project, right? So this is the approach that you should take. Now coming to a phase 2. So once your phase 1 is done, means once your foundation is built, between 1 to 4 weeks. Now some of you are going to complete it in 1 week itself, some of you are going to complete it maybe in a 8 week, depends. But yeah, here I have written the estimation timeline and number of hours are already attached. Now you can try to come to a phase 2. So core skill building. Okay, core skill building. Now here, so I have written that goal is going to be develop expertise in machine learning. Again, when I say machine learning, so there is something called as supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, semi-supervised machine learning algorithms. So you should get into that particular phase slowly and gradually, because your foundation is clear. You know the programming language, you know the libraries like a pandas, matplotlib, cufflinks, numpy, all those, plotly, all those things. You know a basic of mathematics, you have already done a revision of it. So now you can comfortably come over here and start exploring a supervised machine learning algorithm, unsupervised and a semi-supervised. So here, what should be a goal? So develop expertise in machine learning, try to explore our databases and real world problem solving. So databases is again an intact part for any application, not just machine learning application, guys. Everything, whatever you are using in your mobile, simple. Everything, every data is stored somewhere, maybe into a SQL databases, maybe into a NoSQL databases. So somewhere someone is storing, they're trying to run a query on top of it based on your clicks, based on your activities or based on the backend activities. And then you are able to see something on your screen. So again, in a machine learning, obviously you have to store a lot of data. You have to do an interaction with a lot of data on a regular basis. Your data is going to be different. It's not like every time you are going to get a structured data like a data into an Excel sheet. No, not at all. Maybe you will get a completely unstructured data. Maybe you can get a data from a sensors. Maybe you can get a data from a vehicle. Maybe you can get a data from some other application, some other business or some other parties. And it could be a structure, semi-structure or unstructured. So you have to know about at least a basic of databases, at least one SQL databases, one NoSQL databases. And my advice is with SQL wise, MySQL, and then NoSQL wise, go with MongoDB initially. Again, I'm not saying that everywhere you will end up using these two databases. No, not at all. But once you will be able to know these two databases, you will be able to explore and learn everything. Your foundation will be clear. Your foundation will be built. Okay. So databases and then real world problem solving, because see guys, I've seen many people, what they do is like they try to take a data from Kaggle or somewhere, or maybe a UCI repository, and they just do something and then show the application. Now that is not a reality, believe me. Yeah, as a beginner, it's completely fine. I'm not saying that you should not do it. You should actually do it when you're trying to start. But at the end of the day, you should always align yourself in a direction where you will end up building at least a very small real world application, because then only you will face a real challenges, and once you are going to build it, you will feel a real satisfaction inside you, and you will feel very confident, right? This is where confidence will come into a picture. So a real-time problem solving you are supposed to do. And again, so in a topic segment, so I have clearly mentioned that supervised learning, and then inside that these are the algorithm name. Linear regression and logistic regression is the algorithm name basically. And in data science, so whenever we try to create a models, whether it's a deep learning, machine learning, or maybe NLP, maybe reinforcement learning model, any model, so we have a evaluation matrices. So for a different kind of a model, so we have a different kind of a evaluation matrices. Now with respect to these two algorithms, so these are something that you should know at the end of the day, right? And I have already mentioned that activity wise, try to do these activities, means implement linear logistic from a scratch. Now solve a beginner Kaggle level competition. Kaggle is a website, you can go and explore on Google, and you will be able to find out a lot of data set over there. You will be able to find a lot of competitions and problem statement over there. You will even be able to find that a lot of people have already solved some of the problem, right? And then on top of it, there are people who have solved a problem in a better way with better accuracy, right? With a better latency. So you can try to explore that particular part. Now, coming to a next segment, right? What you are supposed to do next, bit of advanced machine learning. Again, this is not very advanced, I would say, but yeah, little bit advanced as compared to the previous one. Decision tree, random forest, gradient boosting algorithm, so XGBoost algorithm, all those things you are supposed to understand. Hyperparameter tuning and feature engineering you are supposed to know. So activities wise, these activities, number of hours I have already mentioned. Now databases wise, like I said, at least one or two database you should know. Now SQL database, MySQL you can try to choose. There is something called as MySQL from Microsoft, and MS SQL basically, right? And there is something called as MySQL Workbench. There is something called as Snowflake. So there are so many MySQL based databases which is available. IBM DB2. So MySQL based database which is available. Again, Oracle 11G, 12G, 13G, all those things. All these things are available. So you can try to explore at least one. MySQL is my choice. You can search on Google, and then you will start getting all the answers that what is MySQL, what are all queries that I can run. Now here is a things which I have clearly mentioned. Now try to solve 50 SQL problem. So even on Euron dashboard, you will be able to find out a company wise SQL problem statement. So you can go and explore that part, and then you can try to solve it. Now there is something called as SQLite and MySQL, like I have already mentioned. So SQLite is basically in-memory databases, so you can try to explore that. But yeah, query is more or less same with little bit of modification. Then next part, deep learning, a 60-hour of job. So inside this deep learning, you should understand a basic of neural network. So how neural network works actually, what is the mathematics, what is the input layer, what is the hidden layer, what is the output layer, what is the activation functions, all those things you are supposed to understand. And this is where this introduction, training and backpropagation comes into a picture. Little bit of NLP basic, that what is the meaning of tokenization or lemmatization or bag of word, TF-IDF, all those things you can try to explore. Just explore, I would say, just explore. Yeah. Okay. And then train it. Little bit of training, means training in terms of like training, not yours I'm talking about training in terms of training on top of the data. So building a real-time application, and obviously 60 hours is too much. So if you're going to invest 60 hours of work, so obviously you will be able to learn a lot, you will be able to know a lot. Now phase number 3, real world project and portfolio. This is something that you are supposed to work on. So now on an average, you will be aware till this point. If you are able to reach out till this point, you are aware about a basic. I'm not saying that you are aware about still an advanced part. No, not at all. You are aware about a basic, at least basic, right? You are aware about the programming, you are aware about the basic of mathematics, you are aware about the basic of machine learning, you are aware about the basic of deep learning, a little bit of NLP. So overall, holistically, you are aware about all the basic part, means your base is done. Your base is built now, right? Now, on top of this layer, now you can start doing something advanced. So here, real world project. So these projects are again a dummy project which I have written, but like I said, we are trying to build a basic. So predict house price using a regression model, customer churn analysis. These are the very basic project, but again, as a starter, these projects are good and you should at least try this out by yourself at least once. All these projects are already available. It's not like it's not available, and that too with the multiple version. There are many people who have coded this project. There are many people who have already built this project, but you are supposed to do it on your own. No copy paste, right? Because this is the first time when you are doing a project. Then end-to-end project deployment. So API creation with Flask or Django. I'll prefer Flask, but yeah, you can try to go ahead with Django as well. So Flask or Django, and deployment of the model, because even inside an industry, when you will join, it's not like you are going to build everything in your local laptop or computer and then you are going to hand over your computer to your client. No, that is not going to happen, right? So at the end of the day, you have to do a deployment, and this is where AWS, GCP, Azure, Heroku kind of a cloud platform. There are so many free cloud platform which is also available. So here in AWS, you will be able to get a free credit. GCP, you will be able to get a free credit. Heroku, you will be able to get a free credit. So you will be able to use it, and at least you should deploy, make your application. So whatever application that you have built over here, so make those application global. And this is where you will feel a real happiness, believe me, when you will see your application is published. You can share that link with anyone. Anyone will be able to use it. You will be able to capture the data, and then you will be able to do some sort of analytics on top of it. So means now cycle will be closed. Basic level cycle, I would say, again, right? Again, I'm not talking about advanced one. A basic level of cycle will be closed over here, and by this time you will be able to understand that, okay, fine, I have built something and which is working, people are able to use it, and that will give you a real happiness. Okay, so deploy prediction app using a Flask, automate ETL, extract, transform, load pipeline with Python. So all these things will come over here in this particular section. Now next part, phase 4. Let's suppose I'm able to build the basic as a fresher. I'm a fresher, I'm still a fresher, right? So if I'm a fresher, so obviously I'm able to do all those things. So now what is next? Obviously I have to work on my resume, networking, and job application, because if I'm able to learn something, I need an output. Not output as a deployment, I would say output in a career I'm looking for, because that was the purpose, that was the whole idea behind a learning, right? So maybe I'm looking for a freelancing job, maybe I'm looking for a permanent position or something like that, depends upon my need. What I will do is I will start preparing for my resume portfolio. Simple, right? Again, there are so many platforms which is available in this world where you will be able to get a lots and lots of resume template for fresher, for experience, for every kind of a domain. And there are so many platforms, so where you will be able to even showcase your work. GitHub is one of the place, LinkedIn is one of the place, right? Likewise, there are so many freelancing platforms which is available as well. So freelancer.com, Upwork, all those platforms. So what you can do is, so create a tailored resume highlighting a projects, because this is important. Then if you have done an internship or whatever key skills that you have, key activity that you have done, detailed case study you can try to publish on GitHub and LinkedIn. Simple. Maybe you can try to build your own portfolio page, and there are so many platforms which supports this. Means you just have to go fill all the detail, your photo, your logo, everything, and then you will be able to build a portfolio pages just like a resume. So resume you have to go and share with someone, right? So in this case, so you can just try to give a URL and people will be able to see everything about you. So GitHub for a techie is the best place, which I believe. Now Wix, again, in an automated way you can do it. WordPress, you have to work a little bit in terms of hosting your pages. You have to understand and explore. Again, it's not hard, but little bit of exploration is required. Again, there are so many YouTube video which is available. Okay, now interview preparation as a fresher. So behavioral interview preparation and technical interview preparation. So star method for answering a questions, and then algorithm, ML concept, and SQL. So whatever you have studied since a beginning, everything revision. Activities wise, so maybe you can go on lead code and just try to solve a 50-60 basic problem. so that you will get some confidence for an interview. Because sometime what happens is, so people are going to ask you a question directly on a machine learning, deep learning, statistics, or whatever you know. And sometime as a fresher, what will happen is, so people are going to ask a question from a problem solving perspective. Means they will try to give you a bit of algorithm, they will ask you that code it, they will try to give you some sort of a customized problem statement, and then they will ask you to code it. So this is where this platform will come into a picture, or maybe you can try to solve 50-60 problem, not more than that, and it's completely fine. Mock interviews, you can try to like prepare for a technical and behavioral round, because at the end of the day you have to go and speak, you have to go and sell yourself, you have to go and explain about you, explain about your project, explain about your work. So you have to practice even that particular part. I have seen that I've seen a lot of very amazing good techies, but most of them, a lot of them I would say, they lack in a explanation, believe me. And this is even if they are very good in terms of tech, but if they're not able to explain, if you will not be able to explain in front of someone, in front of your interviewer, or whatever you have written into the resume, so if you are not able to explain those things in front of an interviewer, how they are going to hire you, how they will be able to understand about you. Maybe whatever you have written in your resume is false according to them, for that particular instance at least, right? Although it's correct, everything is completely like authentic which you have written inside your resume, but still that is a kind of a sense it gives, that is a kind of an impression it try to give in front of a interviewer. So I will always suggest guys that try to be vocal, try to practice as much as possible, so that you will be able to explain yourself, you will be able to express yourself 100% in front of an interviewer, right? So practice explaining your project in depth, not just a project I would say, but yeah, project is a major part, because this is how you are trying to showcase your work. So obviously you have to explain a project starting from a data, then an entire project journey, like how you have done a data churning, data cleaning you have done, what kind of a model that you have built, what kind of accuracy that you were able to achieve, how you have deployed those models, everything, the complete life cycle you have to explain to your interviewer in a technical round. In a behavioral round, obviously it is going to be a chit chat. Now apply for a job, start applying for a job continuously. There are so many platforms in India and across a world which is available. I have mentioned couple of these platforms over here. So maybe you can try to use a LinkedIn, AngelList, Glassdoor for a job hunting. You can try to research that where job is available. In India there is something called as sign.com, monster.com, naukri.com, apna.com, so apna.co I believe. Yeah. So all these platforms are already available. So you can just go and then hunt for a job, apply for it, mention about yourself in a depth and detail. You will start getting some sort of a calls, start attending the interview. You will get experience and keep on doing it unless and until you are not able to crack the job. That's it. That's a game, right? So apply 5 to 10 job per week. And again, I have seen a people so who end up applying, thousands of job on a different platform. Now this is not going to work. See guys, always look for a feedback, that if you are not getting a response, what is a problem? So first of all, fix that problem and then apply for the next. So let's suppose maybe if you are getting a feedback that your projects are not good, maybe your resumes are not clean and attractive, maybe the work that you are trying to showcase is not that attractive or effective, or maybe it is not able to convince your interviewer technical way, change it. Keep on doing an iteration unless and until you are not going to get a success, and that will be a game. Simple. So total number of week which is required to become a data scientist as a fresher. Again, as a fresher, whatever I have written over here, it's not for an advance at all. I'm assuming that you are trying to get into a data science industry, right? As a fresher. So that's a minimalistic one. On an average, 20 week of time it is going to take, 5 months. But for some of us, it may be less than that. Some of us, it may be way more than this. That's completely fine. We all are human beings and we have our own destiny. We all try to cover a different kind of a path in a different way. So that's completely fine. Estimated number of hours on an average, approximately 600 hours of time you are supposed to devote. And believe me, 600 hours is too much. Once you are devoting a 600 hour of time in anything, not just for data science, believe me, if you are devoting your 600 hour in anything, you will become that person. So here is things, guys. Hope I'm able to explain you a complete roadmap to become a data scientist, a basic on a basic level, right, with a minimalistic approach. And hope all of you are going to follow it. If you have any kind of a suggestion, so please write it down inside a comment box, this PDF link. So this PDF is already available, guys, here. So on Euron platform, in a book section, you will be able to find out. So I'm going to attach this link inside your description box. Along with this, so we have launched a live classes as well, full stack data science in Hindi as well as in English. We are going to take 6 to 7 months of time, because averaging out, right? So over there I have written 5 months, but that is a minimalistic one. Like I said, there are people who will try to take more than that number of time. So here is a live class, again in a super affordable mode, which is available 2,500 rupees only. It is going to start from 14th of December. Now if you have Euron Plus access, you will be able to access each and everything, all the classes. Each and everything means every paid thing, class, books, projects, whatever it is, right, just with this per year. So hope I'm able to explain each and everything to you, and assuming that you are able to understand everything, right, guys? So with that, thank you so much, and see you again in my next video. Thank you so much, everyone, guys. Take care.